Hi, guys. Welcome back to the league. This is episode 4, week 3. I'm your host, Sal.
And I'm Dion.
And yeah, let's get into it. What's up, guys? Today we have our special guest, John, joining us today. What's up, John? How
Hello,
you doing?
everyone. I'm doing good. How are you?
I heard you came in here to defend yourself being low ranked.
Oh no, yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, after
It-
getting creamed last week, it's I got to.
yeah, it's nothing like coming in here after a W. I can't say the same, but at least 2 of you guys got it. So that's a good percentage. Right now, we're going to start off the podcast with some matchup breakdowns. So, Dion, take it away whenever you're ready.
All right, cool. I'll start off with our first matchup, which is Stacy versus Rigo. The matchup was pretty low scoring on both ends. However, it was pretty fairly close. Rigo did hold the lead for the majority of the week, but by Monday, Stacy did catch up. She had her player Josh Allen pretty much creeping up on Rigo, and it almost looked like Stacy was going to win, but Rigo's Jaden Daniels kind of like took that over.
Yeah, man, that was an active Monday, bro. There's so many touchdowns.
Yeah, I think it was the only one that was like fairly like close because everything else was already pretty much done and over with.
For sure. And they were going pound for pound though, like the two QBs battling that out.
Yeah, two QBs and Stacy had her kicker, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I feel like if they wouldn't have benched Josh Allen, I definitely think that Stacy would have had a chance if he would.
Oh hell yeah, like a whole quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, full game.
Still dropped the 30 bomb.
Josh Allen would have been like 40 plus or something.
Hell yeah. Too bad they have to play real football.
Yeah. So for Stacy's MVP, I got to give it to Josh Allen. 260 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, and then 6 rushing attempts for 44 yards. Gave her a solid, 30-92. Her least valuable player is Gus Edwards, which was due to a negative game script, but I mean, he pretty much only had 3 attempts for 9 yards. For Rigo's best player, MVP is Jaden Daniels. That's who I gave it to. He ended up trading for Jaden Daniels a week prior, and it worked out for him because 254 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 12 rushing attempts for 39 yards and a touchdown.
If he wouldn't have traded, he would have been cooked, right?
I believe so because I don't know what Caleb ended up getting.
Yeah, Caleb got 17, so that's like an 8-point difference.
So yeah, like I said, fairly close game all throughout. For Rigo's least valuable player, I gave it to Isaiah Likely. But I'm going to talk about that more later about the Ravens tight ends during your match, Sal.
Yeah.
But he only got 1 target for 1 reception and 4 yards. Not that great.
Yep.
Our next matchup that we're going to get to is Tyler versus Freddie. Now, Tyler decided to dominate in this matchup. He balled out this week. He had the highest scoring team for this week in the league at 138-66. And not only did he have the highest scoring team, but he also had the biggest blowout at 52 points.
Yeah, he did blow somebody's back out.
Yeah, poor Freddie.
Poor Freddie.
Dude, someone check up on our guy. He's been quiet.
Yeah.
I know, right? Where you at, Freddie? Drop a comment.
The battle of the ranks. For Tyler's MVP, I gave it to Saquon. 17 rush attempts, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns, while also adding like 4 receptions for 9 yards.
That's crazy, man. That's like his second 30-point game already in the season. That's
exactly. I think he's currently ranked as the number 1 quarterback. I mean, running back.
Running back. Yeah, he should be.
No. You're right.
For Tyler's least valuable player, I gave it to Jalen Waddle. Without Tua, Waddle's probably going to be struggling a lot. So we'll see how this other quarterback's going to
Yeah, but
go.
say now the third string is in, so maybe that he could be better because Skyler was not it, bro. Skyler is just stunks down for everybody in Miami.
Skyler got hurt on purpose.
He's like, this is too fucking embarrassing. He's like, fake an injury.
Yeah, Waddle only ended up gaining four receptions for 26 yards.
Mm-hmm.
For Freddie's MVP, I gave it to Rashee Rice. Amazing player, 12 receptions, 110 yards, and a touchdown. That boy's cooking.
Yep, he's the only thing that's cooking in KC right now.
True, honestly.
Makes me sad.
Yep.
For his least valuable player, I had to give it to Ramondre Stevenson.
Oh my god, that was so bad.
It was because it
Just
started
eating.
off on Thursday.
Yeah.
You know, your whole week's ruined. You know, getting only 6 rushing attempts for 23 yards, and on top of that, a fumble.
Yep.
Yeah,
That was like
I would
icing to the cake.
I would go into full depression mode right there.
Yeah, even the like a top ranked team is like, dude, that's terrible. Coming back from that is
Yeah.
like not good. No bueno.
And our next matchup we're going to talk about is Tito versus Sal. So I believe Tito took his rank 11 by me and Sal personally to beat down on Sal. That's how I took it as.
It's the ranking boost, bro. Like once you rank them down low, except for one player. I'm not gonna say who, except for somebody hasn't gotten that boost yet. But yeah.
Yeah, this was a pretty crazy matchup. For Tito's MVP, I gave it to Dallas Goedert. Only
Man,
because
that hurt.
in the landscape of tight ends right now, 22 from a tight end is amazing, and
That's insane.
I would take
right?
that any. Yeah.
He went so over his projections, and even his like you know how you said like the landscape for tight end is crazy, and like it's just like tight ends are playing on hard mode right now, and fucking putting up 22. It's great. That's our RB1 numbers.
Yeah, he went crazy. It was like 10 receptions for 170 yards.
Dude, the game was like 0-3. The Eagles had 0, and then Dallas Goedert already had like freaking 18 points. I was like, what the hell's going on? Like nothing's happening in the game, but he's getting all the points somehow.
Yeah, so it was all that yardage right there.
10
Well,
receptions.
I mean, they lost.
10 receptions.
Devontae Smith got hurt during that game, right? Or was it?
Yeah,
was
for
he
a good
already,
portion.
Yeah. Yeah, when
Yeah.
you don't have AJ Brown or Devontae Smith, you're gonna have to rely on Goddard and Barkley.
But these receptions kept hurting me, bro. They were like long ass receptions. I just kept hearing in the background. I was in the kitchen. I was like, it's like 40 yards just like reception. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Goddard. I was like, oh, dude, who's letting this guy get the yak, man?
Right.
But yeah, he was clapping my cheeks.
And then for his least valuable player, I gave it to Devon Achane. Same excuse, you know. The whole team right now is hurting because Tua's gone. He was only able to do out of 11 attempts, 30 yards, and then do 3 receptions for 28 yards. Now, Sal, you're MVP. Now, I called him last week Johnny Taylor, but now he's Jonathan Taylor.
He earned his Jonathan.
Yep, 23 attempts, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a reception for 25 yards.
Yeah,
He
got vultured too, to be honest. But
from
yeah,
who? From the backup or
the backup? Yeah, because what's his name? Richardson. Like the backup was in right, and he started running the ball, and then Richardson pushed him in the end zone. I was like, wow, that could have been Jonathan Taylor's points.
Yeah, right.
That wouldn't have helped me win shit though. Like he bodied me.
Yeah, because your other team, the rest of your other team didn't show up.
Everybody else.
Your least valuable player, I had to give it to Mark Andrews.
Oh,
only
man,
one target and no receptions. So my question is, what is happening in Baltimore? In the 3 games, Andrew has only drawn like 8 targets, and then this week, likely, and I guess the other tight end, Charlie Kular, played more snaps than Andrews. Likely had 62% of the snaps. Kular had 41, and then Andrews had 33. So it's like, what's going on right there? Like, I
I
don't know,
think
man. It's pretty scary.
it is scary, but I think they were featuring Derrick Henry because they were just trying to do that to Dallas. I don't like that though. I feel like they should be more of a balanced team, but they were just literally giving the ball at Henry. That's like everything. I don't like that, especially the way you need points from tight ends. Getting zero is
Yeah,
not gonna help.
exactly. Yeah. And yeah, that's it for my matchups.
And then Burrow did really good. Thanks, Manny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you,
All right.
bro.
So
Mer-
my match just before a little side piece.
Man, Manny did say he was going to drop Burrow anyway. So
Yeah, but dropped them straight into my team. Thank you. I really needed that. I would have been playing Justin Fields or some shit. Anyway, so my matchups this week is I got Dion versus Martin, right? And this one was actually a really cool matchup. It was really close all the way through Monday. And on Monday, unfortunately, Martin had to rely on Patrick Mahomes. And it's funny because I was reading on Discord, he's like, I don't even like him like that or whatever. And it's like, dude, like if you're not gonna like a player, don't draft him because especially in situations like this when you need to rely on them and then he lets you down, it's like you're already not gonna like him like double, you know. But it's like that happens, you know. One thing I did notice is he didn't play the worthy stack, so I don't know if he's taking notes from our podcast, but I mean that's kind of good because that got him closer to beating you. He was only
yeah,
3 points, 2 points away from beating or at least tying you.
yeah.
So
My whole like situation going into that, it was Sunday night. We're down to our last two players. You had Patrick Mahomes and I had Drake London.
mhm.
And it was just like
Oh my yeah,
every little
dude.
situation was going. I'm
Every
like,
possession, every little thing.
oh man, I was so glad that like the last drive for the Falcons, London got those receptions, so it put me over. And then
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, I could either hope for a London touchdown or I could just like hope they don't score anything. And then Kansas City gets the ball again and they could just run out the clock. Lo and
Yeah.
behold, they just ran out the clock and Mahomes ended up losing more points because he had to take a
Nail.
knee.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, man. It was a nail biter. This is the part where Martin could skip the podcast. Damn
yeah.
it, that's to relive his experiences. But yeah, man, I would say on your end, Neighbors was crazy. He's been doing MVP type work for you. Then
yeah, man.
carrying the team. He is. I didn't. Well, everybody expected the rookies, the top two rookies at least, to be like really effective this year. I didn't expect it coming from Neighbors that much, at least to that extent. Like he's been really good, especially in like coming from a team in like New York. Daniel Jones is like not the easiest person to trust,
Yeah,
but bro, he's been cooking. So hopefully he can continue that. That's who I gave the MVP to for you. And LVP is I would say it's just funny, like say I mean, we're just gonna give it to all the tight ends or what? Because like every tight end deserves it's like, you know what, like their standard is probably like at least give me 5 points, bro. But like every tight end's giving us 1, 2 points. Like I feel like once they start
yeah.
getting past that threshold, they cannot take the LVP from everybody else. But yeah, you're a tight end. You maybe you'll find one this week.
Actually,
I
he
mean, I
picked
did
up
pick
Cole
up
Komet
one.
this week.
Who did you
Yeah.
end up picking?
Hold on, let's wait for wire
Oh
talk.
yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right. It's like everybody doesn't know already. All right. Yeah. For the most valuable player, I'll give it to the other Henry on the other side for Martin, who literally has been carrying. Like, look at that, 29 points,
Yeah,
almost
that's
30.
insane.
He was 1 yard away from 30. So yeah, he's been carrying his team. He's been doing good, way better than I expected as well. But like I said, that matchup specifically was kind of weird. They were like trying to feature him, especially against Dallas. And once they did get the lead, they kept just running him into the ground. The rest of his team kind of underperformed. I would give the LVP to Pollard, his other running back. Yeah, I think I thought what was a positive matchup against Green Bay. Green Bay ended up playing better. Like Green Bay's been playing out of their minds compared to what I thought they would. Um, Especially with the backup, Malik, he's been pretty serviceable. Their defense is
Yeah, their
actually better
defense has
than I
been
thought
pretty
too.
good. Yeah,
And
exactly.
so yeah, they've been keeping teams at bay. And what I thought was Will Levis. I thought he was going to be that sucky, but he's been like somebody to target on defense. Apparently, so it's kind of hard. I saw it from my own end with Calvin Ridley. That team is kind of scary if he's going to keep having a bad quarterback play, like these players are kind of like liabilities, you know. So yeah, that's his LVP. So for the next matchup, I had Ryan and Hector, and Hector he had a bum week this week, and that which is did not help him versus one of the best teams in the league. Ryan ended up putting 133 points on Hector's 84, so that was like very landslide-ish game.
Yep.
Um, yeah, Ryan's team went off. One of the main people that went off was Chuba Hubbard. He got a touchdown early on. But what's funny is like, dude, as soon as the Red Rocket came in, like Bryce Young's garbage, bro. Like I saw it. I was telling my brother-in-law, like, dude, like you could tell the players are actually trying to play now. Like they're actually
Right.
trying. Like you
Exactly.
see, like I have a quarterback. Let me actually try. Like you see it in Chuba Hubbard's eyes when he's running the ball. Like, bro,
They
he's
gotta
actually
they
trying
gotta
now.
call Andy. They gotta call Andy Dalton the new hope.
I know, right? It's like they had something to play for.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then on the other side, Hector had Caleb Williams. He made him throw for 350 plus yards. Like that's the Hector effect, right? He still doesn't
Yeah,
lose
that
in the
is.
game for him and for Chicago, but you know, like 350 yards, that's good. It's like I'm looking forward to more of that, Hector. So keep that up. Yeah, and again, Jefferson been playing like the number one round pick that he is, and that's good. Like Sam Darnold has been getting a good QB rating. Unfortunately, he got a little hurt. He got a little banged up in the knee, but I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, he said he's
Um,
gonna be fine.
let's go straight to the LVP for Hector because another goose egg. It's my favorite when it's not on my team, but Rashid Shaheed LVP. The Saints are
Well,
coming off.
that whole offense in general just like
Yeah, I was gonna
crashed
say
and
that
burned.
they're coming off
Oh
of
yeah,
like strong
I felt it.
performances, but as soon as they faced Philadelphia, for some reason Philadelphia tried hard as hell, and the Saints just couldn't do nothing that day. And obviously that affected Rashid Shaheed's bottom line, so he didn't really do anything. His MVP, I would give it to Zach Moss. He had a really good performance, to be honest. I'm kind of like on the not the hating side, but I was more on the Chase. You know, I was on the Chase bandwagon, and you know how I mean. I like the backups. I like the backups. I like eating from the backups. But Chase is
Yeah.
not like with that type of performance. He's not giving up that job that easy. You know, they had him. They used him very well, and they gave him like even passes to it. Ended up getting almost. He got 39 receiving yards. So very effective on the ground and very effective altogether. And that helped my Burrow stocks, which I love. Hector, keep that up. On the other side, Ryan's MVP. I would give it to Hubbard because he just played out his mind, and with his new, hopefully surging offense, and he keeps that up. Like I had him last year, right? And I think he's a good running back. I just hope he's used better, you know, and that team does better than what it's been doing.
Well,
Guess
we'll see
what?
what. Well, yeah, we'll see what happens with Hubbard though, because like Jonathan Brooks is coming in 2 weeks or so. The
Yeah,
team already said that they're expecting him week 5. So
yeah. I think his coach talk. We'll see about that. Well, until we see it, you
yeah,
know, like if the dude keeps performing like this, it's kind of hard to replace a player like that's doing well, you know. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, guess what? Lo and behold, another tight end for LVP, Dalton Schultz, 2 points. It's like, bro, these tight ends are not doing it for us. Like, you gotta find
yeah,
the secret sauce, bro. You guys just start
right.
streaming like random people off the wire and hoping we get a touchdown. Like, this is not working out. Yeah, we'll move on to the next matchup and final matchup with our guest here, guest of honor, victorious against Manny. You love to see it. You love to see it. I love to see Manny lose. Hold that L, bro. Okay, let's talk about. Oh, and you did it too with a Derek Carr that put up 7 points.
Yeah,
But
dude, I
Yeah,
spent good money on him.
that's like good money. Just for love. It's funny, like Tito knows it because Tito has done this in the before. We like where you trust Carr, and then he puts up like a bum. It's like it's a good matchup. It's a good matchup, and then he puts up some
yeah.
bum numbers. But he was looking good early in the season, so hopefully he steps it back up, you know. And maybe that's just a little hiccup.
Yeah, they
Um.
have a better matchup this week, so I think it's
Oh
gonna get
yeah, for
better.
sure. Hopefully he takes advantage of it. Um. Either way, you're still on the search for your QB. You'll get one. You know, it's hard to
I'm
play
waiting for
without
Love
him.
to come back, man. I hope it's this week, but
It might be this week, but
honestly,
it's
I
kind of
want him to
like,
take
do
his
you want to
time.
play him? Yeah. I wanted to talk about James Cook. He obviously he had a good performance. Buffalo looks nice, bro. Like I feel like Cook is a great player. Like once you get into that type of offense, where they have a good defense, a good offense, so many targets. Like, yeah, they don't have like a main target in Buffalo, but he just spreads the ball and like he's so dangerous. I'm talking about Josh Allen. So then now you have Cook, and then like now they have to count for him too, and he gets like easy like layups. You know, it's like he has very easy opportunities to get a lot of points. And I was talking to my brother-in-law. Like I feel like he improved. Like he's way better between the tackles running back than before. Like
Yeah.
before, I feel like he's more used in the passing game, but now he's been like more effective in the ground too. So I'll
Yeah,
give
he's
you
definitely been
props
getting
for
those
that one.
pockets.
Uh-huh. And on Manny's side, Manny's team underperformed. I would say that's another kind of like upset. The Denver going crazy on Tampa Bay. That was like the trap game of the freaking week. And then Baker, obviously, Baker, because of that, Baker didn't perform well. He had under 10 points. He had just 8.52 points. Um, yeah, the best thing of it by his team was Marvin Harrison Jr. I think that's kind of good because even though you reached, like, you still getting your value for him. But the rest of
Yeah.
his team underperformed like completely and entirely. Dobbins,
Um,
McBride,
I mean, he also
Williams.
lost Joe Mixon too, so and then he
He
also
did.
didn't have Kenneth
He,
Walker.
he has the best bench according to him though, but it's like if it's in your bench, can't really use it. But yeah, maybe he'll. I mean, not maybe he will bounce back. He got good quality players on his team. Well, he put up 62 points, so that's kind of
That's the
yeah.
lowest
I love
score
to
of the
see
year.
that. I'm a hate. It's haters paradise. I like it. Yeah. I would say John's most valuable player is Jamar Chase. Man, that was so beautiful. Like the first, like it was like a
Yeah.
40-yarder touchdown right off the bat. I was like, yeah, cooking. If I wasn't
What a
so down,
redemption.
yeah, I know. I was gonna say if I wasn't so down against Tito, I'd be extra hyped because Joe Burrow, the Chase connection is like you want to see that more of that. So yeah, this is just week 3, so hopefully we get a couple more weeks like this. There's 18 weeks in the season, so let's get Chase cooking.
I mean, Higgins
That's
is back, and then Yeshivas is also doing really well, so I think it's gonna happen.
yeah. We have. I'm gonna give the LVP to DeAndre Swift, and I don't know if it's Swift's fault. I'm a kind of a Swift hater, but Chicago is not scheming him right. Like they're just running him between the tackles,
Yeah.
1.8 yards per carry. Like I don't know what they're expecting. I don't know. They do these funny like little screenplays that he catches the ball and he gets like 1 or 0 yards, and it's like, dude, like figure it out. I don't know. It's kind of scary, but yeah, that's your LVP. For Manny, I'll give his LVP to Baker Mayfield just because it was such a positive matchup where you just think like, oh, he's gonna eat, and he just completely shit the bed.
He just
Um,
disappears.
he just disappeared, and then like the trend that he was doing is like he was playing well. He was playing well against harder teams, and all of a sudden it's like he can't even get meet his projections. For his MVP, give it to Marvin Harrison Jr. No, really low key, I'll give it to Manny because he played him this week actually.
Yeah.
Finally,
Instead of benching
Yeah.
him.
it's like he didn't have a choice, right? You got to play him.
No.
So yeah, maybe you play him more often and give some more points. But yeah, that's it for my matchup reviews. Now we can go into the rankings, right?
Power rankings.
My favorite.
Time to judge.
So this week we can start with the number 12, the gimme pick. Unfortunately, what do you think? Hey, who do you think, John? Don't make us say
Oh, who? Oh man, sorry,
it.
Stacy.
All right, Stacy. We all agree. All right, why Stacy though? Let's see.
Her team's just falling apart. I think I don't know. They're just not performing. I'm like, yeah, she has CD Lamb, but I definitely think she has to make some moves. She has to start breaking some of those top 2 players apart and maybe maybe divvy it up between some people. I'm thinking about sending some offers over to her for Josh Allen.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yeah. I think
I
Josh
was
Allen, if anything, would be the piece.
Yeah, I
But
definitely think she can convert those 2 players into some pretty good players. Maybe throw in some
yeah,
of her other ones.
I was gonna mention and stuff like so her 3 running backs that she played this week were Zamir White, Gus Edwards, and Javante Williams.
hmm,
All 3 of those players combined did not break 10 points. So it's like, yeah, she's got to make some moves in order to like, get her rank back up to where it should be.
Yeah. I was gonna suggest something. Like I know John brought up like trading the top pieces. What do you think, Dion? Like of that philosophy versus like um just kind of maybe waiting. It's like wait and see kind of. Like Josh Allen had a
I
great game, but Mike Evans had a kind of bum game. But like if she had like where Mike Evans, Tyreek Hill, and Josh Allen are playing like they're actually to their potential, like she could put up some nice points. What like do
so
you think if
my
like watering her team down would benefit in the long run, or is she just
my
trying to
my
play to save her sackle?
my thing is like so yeah, she does have CD Lamb and Mike Evans and stuff. And
Yeah,
yeah,
CD Lamb, my bad. Yeah,
those players will get her points and stuff, but it doesn't seem like it's enough for her to like actually win a week. Her first week, it was fairly close. It was against Tito. You had 93 points from Stacy and then 97 from Tito, so it was a fairly close game. Second week, unfortunately, she did lose majorly. It was 63 and against Freddie, and Freddie got 125.
yeah.
So it's like she's inching there, but she just needs to like have that
Oomph.
extra person to like get her those wins. So yeah, maybe if she does trade away at least one key player, it'll get her the the how do you say depth that she needs.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think it's up to we'll see what she decides if she wants to keep rolling the dice and hoping her top dogs carry her to some sort of points, or kind of spread out her team and just kind of like have a mid team, but just kind of be more consistent.
Well, I'll send her some trades right now.
I'm gonna send her some live trades right now. You know what? Pause the podcast right now. I'm just gonna send some
Yeah.
trades.
Oh, she denied me.
Auto reject.
Yes,
All right. So
that
let's
will
talk
happen.
about 11 and 10 possibly. Do you got anybody near 11 and 10?
So my 11, I still have to give it to Tito,
Oh,
even though he had a major win. Um, it was like at the expense of like players having some plus matchups,
just going off.
or just going off. Do you agree or not?
I semi agree. I think there's other people here. I had written. I had let me go into it. I think one of the people that we could talk about is Martin and Hector. I think Tito is after them. So I would say 11 or 10, Martin Hector, and then Tito 9. Only because like Tito's team showed that it's like, that didn't give up on him yet. And then
Yeah.
the fact that he already has two, that he's 2-1, I think that kind of speaks a little bit to power rankings a little bit, just because I'm thinking power rankings in the terms of, hey, he's gonna make playoffs, or like how easier it is for him to make playoffs. So he's kind of got a little bit of a start, especially because he scored a lot of points this week. But I do agree about his team composition. Like I think he's just like he just
So
mollywopped me. It's like one of those
it,
weeks where your team just goes off, but I wouldn't consider it to be any better than it was last week, if that makes sense. Oh, I lied. The only thing that improved was Jaden Daniels' come out game, and Terry is not so
Terry
skilled.
finally, yeah, right,
So
exactly.
yeah, that improved. So I would say he would improve from 11, at least
Okay.
to 10, if not 9. But what do you think from the two people that I mentioned, or you too, John, if you have an opinion, like Martin and Hector's team? Like, do you think one of those two is worse off than Tito's, or even than the
Um, I definitely think that Martin's team has more potential than Hector's team. I mean, like the fact that it was such a close game, like he could have been 1 and 2, and he definitely could have been above Hector at that point.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely have to give the number 11 spot to to Hector, and then Martin 10.
Oh yeah, I kind of agree. And when you mentioned about he could have been 1-2, like he could have been 2-1. Like if he didn't had faced freaking
Yeah.
Ryan the first week too, is like he's
Oh
had
yeah.
kind of bad luck in matchups, but his team hasn't performed that bad as to like what Hector's team is actually. Now he's kind of stuck with a Caleb Williams, and he was. I don't know if he could have played someone better than Rashid Shaheed, but he did. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I feel like also White is losing kind of his role a little bit in that offense. to Bucky.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then he's like in the boat with all of us where he hasn't really found a tight end. So he's got Fryermuth going, but it's like 5 points. I don't know. I guess that's okay for a tight end. Better than
I mean,
most.
funny enough, I did have Hector and Martin ranked like in the same group. So I mean, I'm okay with bringing down Hector to 11
Alrighty.
with those like focal points.
Okay, so we'll put Hector at 11.
But I mean, we're putting Hector at 11. That means we're putting Caleb Williams at 11.
Oh no,
Come
I
on,
don't care.
guys.
I don't
Come
care.
on.
You gotta be objective. That's his whole team, Caleb Williams.
Yeah, we're just gonna say Caleb Williams.
Oh,
Yeah,
another
dude.
thing is too because Tyreek Hill. So Tyreek Hill hasn't scored much because of the situation of this QB. So that kind of has him down there. I think that's worthy of being 11.
Yeah,
So between Martin and Tito, do you think what do you still think Tito's lower than Martin?
I would say Martin would be at 10 because of the wins.
Okay. Yeah, that's good enough for me. I think they're really close. Well, yeah, I agree. 10 would be Martin and then Tito 9. I mean, the other way around. Tito 10 and
Yeah.
then Martin 9, right?
Yep.
All right. Tito 10 and 9 is Martin. Yay, that means I'm already top 8. All right. So who do you think is the next two?
The next two I got is John,
I figured. Hey, you know what?
number 8.
At least I'm above that 4th tier.
I know, right?
You're climbing. You're climbing.
Yeah, I am. I'm climbing, man. I'm
It's a
making it up
marathon,
there.
bro.
Yeah, I got Hector, John at 8, and Rigo at 7.
Okay. I would throw into the mix just for conversation's sake. I would throw in Manny because his team is banged up, and that little whopper he put up this week was kind of like last week. I feel like we overranked him, and that was because of me probably. But I feel like he's came down. His team came down a little bit. But from those, I would agree with you that Rigo is down there. I just don't know. You had John first. I mean, John more lower,
So
or you had Rigo.
yeah, I had John at 8, and then
Okay.
I did have Manny at 6. So
All right. So they're near each other. Why John? Why would John be lower than Rigo? You think?
let's take a look at your name, your team. Hold on. Where's down with Tito? There it is.
Tyler Tito.
All right,
No, Rigo's
DeAndre
got a pretty
Swift
good team.
and Travis Kelsey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're like that's enough.
Yeah.
And
They're trash.
no quarterback.
I mean, until Travis Kelsey becomes to what he is, then yeah, I will boost up your rank more. But there's
You're
I don't
right.
know Patrick Mahomes.
That's a really good point. And like
He's just got to break up with Taylor Swift.
to add the non QB that he hasn't really found his QB or Josh or I mean Jordan Love hasn't came back yet. So when that happens, I feel like we can adjust accordingly. But you're right.
Yeah, because once Jordan Love does come back too, we'll see if that connection between him and Jaden Reed
Oh,
continues,
that could be really good for him.
and you got the ultra stack right there. So
That could be really good. You're right. We'll keep
What I'm
him
banking
at
on.
8 right now.
and then
I'll take it.
Rigo, I
Then
don't know,
Rigo and Manny.
Garrett Wilson and DJ Moore are still iffy for me. They're not scoring the points they should be.
They're not scoring. You said they're
Yeah, they're not scoring. Yeah,
all right. They're like mid, a little bit mid, but they're like near
yeah.
their projections. I would say what kind of did him in this week was definitely his running backs, which we thought were like pretty good, and they like underperformed, especially Connor. So like this is the question I had. The first 2 weeks they were like in it, right? They were in it to win it, and then this week they were kind of playing from behind. But Connor didn't get like almost no usage. So or not no usage. It's just
Oh,
like no what's it called? No efficiency. He just had 3 points. So it's
yeah. I
kind of
mean the Detroit Lions are a really good run defense, so it really hindered him and Kyler Murray.
yeah. It's true. And he's a team where he's looking for a tight end too, even though, like I said, we all underperform. But
Yeah,
likely is not it. I think he picked up somebody. We could talk about it. But
yeah. We'll talk.
yeah,
He moved
I
on from Likely.
yeah. You said he had him at 7, right? Yeah, I think I agree. Manny would be better. Just his bench is better. They're a little bit banged up, but they're just. I feel like he has a better
Yeah.
team altogether.
So and like we said, we're talking about like rest of the season and stuff. So
Yeah. So it's like kind of projecting forward. So yeah, we'll take Rigo 7 and say just 6 Manny.
yep.
All right. I have to be a little bit humble here. I think I'm gonna put myself 5, or I would suggest I go 5 because I can't see myself any higher than anybody else. Like I feel like if I could tie for 6, I'd be tied for 6. Like I feel like the
Yeah.
people at 4, like 1 through 4, just have better teams than me, like for sure.
So I guess we're gonna have to argue who's better, me or you, because I put myself at number 5.
You did? What the hell? This is like reverse,
Yeah,
like humble brag. The battle of humble brags. All right, well, see who's
right.
better. I think your team is better, bro, because because you definitely showed the potential this week. You had a coming out party again. I mean, scoring over 100 points, this already should be good enough. Like I feel like people that score over 100 almost always win, except if they face just somebody that's better, that's 100 more, like 120 or something. Well, your team performed pretty well, I think, and it's more of a balanced situation. It's not like one person went off and then the rest kind of did nothing. It's like you had most of your core, like Neighbors, Metcalf, Hall, and Drake London. That's like your skill positions. They're all having a great game. And then even though Kyler Murray had a quote unquote bad game, he still put up 14 points, which is better than a lot like league average.
Yeah.
Um, Whereas me, like, yeah, my guys went off. The guys that should or that I drafted, like Taylor. Taylor hasn't let me down. Gibbs hasn't let me down. And Burrow actually, like, that was like Burrow was actually really great for me. But
Right,
other
because
than my two,
you upgraded your quarterback position, because what were you running last week? You were running like
Off.
Jared Goffel.
yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
it's like
Oh,
you made that improvement, and your
you're
running backs
right.
are a step above like
Well,
what I have and stuff.
Yeah.
I would
So
say
looking at
like
your team is has gotten significantly better.
you're right. And I also came up on the GOAT, the guy behind the GOAT, which is Deontay Johnson, I
yeah,
came up, and then Thielen got hurt, so he might get more targets. You might be onto something. Yeah. So my wide receivers is that's like kind of like the iffy thing, right? I have Adams, Ridley, Pickens, and Deontay Johnson. And to be honest, I personally do like them, but they just I have to learn to like
you had
do
to
better
like
sit
play the
starts.
matchup.
Yeah, I
Like,
have to do better sit starts because that's kind of like I mean it wouldn't have helped me this week just because
but
Tito went off. But yeah, I think going forward, you might be right. You might be right because you did lose Pacheco, and my team's kind of going a little bit up, and yours not going down this week, but at least from the previous week that you had lost
and
Pacheco.
and like I said before, like last week, I said you're sneaky Sal because you have all like everybody's backups to like. So if Bijan goes down, if Brees goes down, if the rest of the Miami backfield goes down, you have those backups. Like,
I definitely think Braylon Allen is going to be very key if Brees goes down because that'll
Dion's like,
yeah,
don't say
he's
that
too
shit.
good.
yeah,
Don't wish that upon me.
Hey, I
Um,
got
stop it.
Allen, man.
yeah, man. Well, at least I'll let you say it. That way I don't have to say it myself. Damn, that means next to the top 14 puts a lot of pressure on me. All right, so Dion number 5,
Yep.
and then Sal. We go now the top 3. I think it's kind of last week we had Ryan number 1, Freddie number 2, and Manny 3. I think Tyler definitely made the jump. Obviously, there's only 3
Yeah.
positions left.
He
Uh,
definitely did.
I would bring Freddie down to 3, and then have the other guys duke it out for 1 and 2. What do you think?
I definitely did put Freddie at 3. Sorry, Freddie.
He's falling from
Uh,
grace. He was number 1 for the first week.
Oh,
Hey,
sorry,
was he
Freddie.
number
You're
one
only top
first
three.
week, number 2 week 2, and number 3
he
week
was
3?
yeah, he was draft 1, and then week 1 he was also 1,
Dude, this is
and
funny because then
then
next week is gonna
yeah,
be number 4, and then so on. So by 12th week he's gonna
yeah,
be last place.
yeah, exactly.
Freddie, man, let me save your team, dude. Send me some of those players.
That's the
Yeah,
trend. Well, that's the thing, right? His team is kind of hurt. It's kind of banged up. Debo Samuel and
It's very
Higgins and
hurt.
stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, his team has always like been the team that's like we liked, but it's just if your team's hurt, just like Tito's team, it's like now you have to adapt. So now your team's a little bit worse. So yeah, we put Freddie at 3, Freddie 3, and then the top two. What do you think? The only the only two left is Ryan and Tyler. I think Ryan
Tyler.
has undisputedly number 1, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
he has
pretty
to stay at
better.
number one. The
Until
guy
his team
is
shows decline for some reason.
three. The guy is 3-0 and still scoring more points than anybody could keep up with. So
So we'll put Tyler 2, Ryan 1, and we'll just talk a little bit of Tyler's team, like because it's better this week. We did talk a little bit about it already, but I mean,
yeah,
one of the things is kind of
Saquon,
like Dak Prescott. It's
Kyron
like
Williams, yeah,
I
Dak
don't know,
Prescott.
because
But
he got
I
nearly 30 points on a losing game, so it's kind of like, hey, it shows his kind of like ability to actually put up points with the rest of the QBs.
it was
And
all
I,
like to catch up, right? Wasn't it?
yeah,
Because like wasn't he like also like in the beginning of the game it was like really bad and
yeah, it was like
then
garbage time, but just the fact that he can do it, it's like if you have the ability. Because there's some quarterbacks that are playing from behind, like
yeah,
Lawrence, like Lawrence. He sucked. He had all the garbage time in the world, starting like in quarter 1, and he couldn't do nothing. It's like
yeah.
you have the weapons and stuff. It kind of bodes well for Dak Prescott, bodes well for CeeDee Lamb and stuff like that. So I mean, he has that, and then I mean, he just has to overcome the Waddle thing. But his running backs are like great, and then
And,
he did.
and the Rams, like the
The
Rams,
Rams.
we were talking so much smack about them, and then like they end up beating like the 49ers. Like
Yeah. I think the 49ers are on sus alert right now because how are you gonna drop a
they
game to
kind of
fucking Minnesota,
they
San
kind of
Diego,
are,
and
man.
like what's
I'm
going
like
on?
scared to start their defense anymore.
Yeah, it's like what is going on? It had to be the defense, right? Because the offense has been kind of okay. Like Purdy's been looking nice, and I mean they
Yeah,
did
Purdy
lose
had a great
Debo,
game.
but I mean yeah, it's like yeah, what's it called? I was going to say another thing too. Is like the Singletary. He had a pretty good performance. I was kind of
Yeah,
sleeping on him, and to be honest, altogether in New York, I was just kind of sleeping in New York, and they've been playing pretty good. They've been playing pretty good.
the
They're not garbage
Cleveland
actually. They're not
Browns.
garbage like we've been playing. Yeah, I think the Browns are another such team, like such watch. But yeah, I think Tyler's there, but he's just not enough to get where Ryan's at. Ryan's just got everything. But if anything that Manny said is true about the whole Kamara thing, where like he got kind of banged up or whatever, that could be a piece because that's like a big thing of his team, like Kamara,
Yeah,
Kamara,
exactly.
Godwin, and stuff. But we'll see. For now, he's sticking to number 1. See how long he can hold that title. Hopefully not for all the way until finals because that'd be he hasn't won a championship, but it could be this year. He's got a good team, but you got to have a
Pretty
good
good.
Ho-
team at the end.
Hopefully, Ryan. Hopefully.
Yep. All right.
No
So
worries,
now
man. I'll break a streak week 8.
whenever you face them, right? I'm not trying to lose them. But yeah. So now we're talking about since we didn't have any trades, we talk about the waiver wire,
The waiver wire.
the fab spending only, right?
Yeah, only the fab. That's all we care about. All right, so we'll talk about the first one, the highest bid, which was me
Dion.
to Cole Kmet
Damn, bro, 21. Are you a
dropping.
Bears fan?
Yeah,
We're a tight end. We
secretly,
said it was. We said tight end
secretly.
was tough, huh? So you gotta
Yeah,
spend up.
I'm desperate. I mean, nobody else was really desperate because Tito only bid $9.
Yeah.
But I pulled a Manny. I guess we'll call it that because
Now you won't pull a Manny until you drop him next week.
that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
man.
Then
dropped
our
Purdy, man.
My opinion, I think you could have eased up on that. I don't think anyone would like spend that much other than you, probably. But I mean, obviously, clearly the next one was 9. But I mean,
yeah,
what did you see in him that warranted 21?
the fact that they were thinking about like giving him more snaps as opposed to Gerald Everett.
Hmm.
Because I guess Gerald Everett was eating more into the snaps, and I guess they decided to make a change. And look how
Yeah,
it panned out.
and then Caleb started slanging that thing.
Yeah. So
So
hopefully, And plus,
350 yards, and some of those go to Komet's weight.
next 2 weeks are really plus matchups. So I'm hoping for at least close enough to a repeat.
Yeah, man. I'm hoping you and Hector could, the two Steelers fans, because you got the Fields jersey.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully the two Steelers fans make the Bears go crazy this week, or just even for the rest of the season.
We made Justin Fields go crazy.
We made Justin Fields good. But yeah, the next one is Andre Yoshivas.
He's been
He's been dropped.
Yeah.
Oh, he picked him up for 16. He just got dropped. So, Manny, you gotta come on the Manny. Drop a comment. Tell us what you were thinking, bro. It's like, hey, I don't like money. Let me just.
Yeah, we get a refill every week, right? That's what it is.
It's kind of like a slap in the face to Ryan and Martin. They bid on them, and then and then he's like, you know what, broke people, and then he just drops it. So yeah, that's the story for that one. The next one is Cortland Sutton. The winning offer was 13 for Ryan, and the only other person to offer anything was Martin's broke ass. He's always offering $3 or $4. Do you think the day will come where we come on the podcast and be like, "Well, Martin ended up securing this player for $4"? Never.
Probably, I don't know. I mean, he did. Well, I mean, we'll get to it and stuff. Like he did secure someone, but not for $4.
Okay, well, the next one is who? Alan Lazard, the Lizard.
Alan Lazard, yeah. Which I don't hate. Sounds all right.
Was that Tyler?
Yeah, it was Tyler.
And then my boy Johnny here, our guest, got outbid. He put $3.
Yeah, I dropped him. I dropped him, and I was like, damn. I was like, why'd I drop him? I was like, he actually did really good.
You
the
know,
connection between him and Aaron Rodgers is still there.
At least you didn't drop Odunze, which dropped like 20 points on your head.
Oh, that's true.
That was me.
That was a rent. I guess that was a revenge, right?
Yeah, I guess so. But maybe I just made him pop off. He deserved to be out of my team.
Yeah.
The next one is our boy Justin Fields, the one you guys made good, apparently.
Wow, you just passed up Emmanuel Wilson?
Oh yeah, Emmanuel Wilson.
I didn't think anybody cared about that guy.
I care about him.
I
love my Packers.
Wait, that's you, bro. I got trolled because it's like down with Tito, and then I see the Devil Bats bid 0. I was like, how the hell did he bid against himself? I think you could do that, but it's still funny. I was like, I get confused. Because I think this morning you dropped somebody and it's like Tito. Is that just Tito? I just think Tito. So it's funny.
Stealing his identity.
$8 for Emmanuel Wilson. What do you think? What do you see there, bro?
Oh, dude, I think he's really good. Like, I know Jacobs is good, but I just think Emmanuel Wilson, he's got potential.
Yeah, and then that offense is nice too. So it's like if he gets a chance of the pie, that's a good position for you.
Yeah, but then once I secured him, I realized that I have Love and Jaden Reed.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you, I'm like,
and I'm doing that again. The thing where I have like everyone.
You're a Packers fan. Who else do you want, bro? Who do you need?
Oh, dude, man, I want a Dunze, man. I was trying to get Komet too. I was gonna put a bid on him, but then I realized that I have Kelsey, and I was like, I really want that struggle. Like, what if Kelsey does really good?
Hey, do you want to trade Kelsey for Andrews? Just straight up? We'll do it live, bro. What do you mean? I think I'm not too sure, but I think Andrews has more points on the season than Kelsey.
Well, Likely will have more points in the season than Andrews.
Oh, fuck Kelsey.
Dude, I was big on Likely last year. I picked him up and he did really well for me, and then I dropped him.
I think he's a free agent now. I think
he is too. I might just pick him up.
The next one is Justin Fields. After skipping
Justin Fields.
$6 for Justin Fields, bro. That's like as much as freaking Pittsburgh paid for him.
That's true.
So that went to the Mahomes owner, which is hilarious. The Mahomes owner, the quote unquote best quarterback of all time, or not all time in the league. I don't have too much to say about that. It's just insurance, I guess, right? Maybe he doesn't trust Mahomes. He doesn't like Mahomes. Maybe he's trying to trade, man. He might be in your DMs trying to trade. Who's the next? Leggett. Xavier Leggett going to Friday. My opponent this week.
My rookie.
$4.
He likes his wide receivers, man. I think he want to pick him up after the Red Rocket went crazy. So I wouldn't have mind to pick him up too, and just like holding, especially now that
Thielen is out.
Yeah, Thielen is out. He might could do something right
Yeah,
there.
could be the wide receiver too for that team.
Uh-huh.
I
That's
think
pretty
so.
much it. That's pretty much it for the pickups. Everything else was just like defense and kickers and stuff like that, which nobody really cares about.
We
Well, I
don't
mean,
talk about that.
I see that Tito was trying to go for Tennessee, and now he's got Miami. Which honestly, I think Miami's definitely going to do a lot better defensively. So
I think so. Tennessee's like
unfortunately, it's against me.
it's because Tennessee could be good defensively, and then what happens is just their offense just like throws the ball away, and then they have to play defense again, and it's not as good. Let me see. The next segment we wanted to do was actually interview John real quick.
Yep,
So we got some questions for you, bro. Coming from your bro.
coming from me.
What's
Yeah.
up?
So, what's the story in you like jumping onto fantasy? Like, how was it that you were introduced and joined?
Oh, literally you, because obviously I know all the guys and all that stuff. And I remember we were working at I think at Hyman's, and I remember you were playing fantasy and all that stuff, and you would always talk about it, and like I wouldn't know what you were talking about and stuff because I didn't really know football like that. So the opportunity came up for me to get in on it, and yeah, I'll see what it's about. Because obviously I didn't really watch football before that or anything. The only
Yeah,
pieces of information I would get was like from Leo back in high school. Because Leo, we would always watch I believe ESPN every single time that I went over his house. Um, and I wouldn't know any of these players and stuff. So as soon as you started playing it, I was like, I became interested because I think you started like the
yeah,
year or two before I did.
yeah. The
Um,
year before, yeah.
yeah, and then so the opportunity finally came up for me to get into it, and yeah, I did it, and well, ever since then I've been doing fantasy for the last 9 years. Definitely been having a lot of fun. I don't know. I feel like it's an ego boost, like knowing that I have a good record.
Yeah,
And
what's especially in the weeks where you have good, like a good
yeah, dude,
performance. Like, dude, it
it
just
feels
feels like.
great.
Mhm. I
Yeah,
would
and it's
say like
just like
Dion. Dion's year that he won. I think the year after is the one you joined, right?
yeah,
Then like
yeah, he won
like
that year.
enticing, like, hey, he just won. My brother just won. That means just go try to do that, and then you didn't do it.
Yeah, I
I
It
did.
was
didn't.
just bad, bro. It was back to
Yeah.
back Valentine championships.
And the funny thing is that like I'm a petty ass person. Everybody knows that shit.
Hmm.
Um, and I drafted Andrew Luck first because I heard that Dion had him, and so I was
Yeah,
like,
you did, and you made him bad. Like,
yeah, dude, I killed him. He he I think I ended his career. Hold up, my camera just fucking. Well, yeah, I ended his
Yeah.
career, and I don't even know how I won. I probably got really lucky with like my matchups and stuff, and then I eventually made it to playoffs. I don't know who I went against during the quarterfinals or the
well,
semifinals.
all right. So, touching upon the championship game that you won on the first week. I mean, on the first year of fantasy.
Yeah.
Um, there is a bit of a trend that you have every single year when you face a certain someone in the league. Now, can you explain the origin of Down with Tito?
Yeah.
Oh,
Take us
oh
to what you were
man.
thinking. How did it come about?
I don't know. It's always kind of been like this little rivalry thing with like Tito. It even like transitions to like when we actually play football too. Like I always cover him, he always covers me, kind of vice versa. And then like I always tell him too, like we have kind of the same intellect whenever it comes to like board games and all that stuff.
Hmm.
And I remember we used to play Yu-Gi-Oh, and I don't know, like obviously always thought of him as a rival and all that stuff. So when we started to play fantasy football, I don't know, kind of became like obviously he's the commissioner and stuff. So I thought
Yeah.
he's like a dictator and stuff. So I'm just like, fuck it, I was like down with Tito, and so I put that name once, and I remember I had Jeremy Macklin in my team, so I just
Yo,
have the photo of
throwback.
Burt Macklin,
That's funny,
and
dude. I didn't remember why that was that picture, but it was always that picture.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I was watching Parks and Recs that year. So I was like, oh sweet. I was like Jeremy Macklin. I was like, I'll pick him up just for the fucking name. So I was like Burt Macklin, FBI. And then I faced Tito. It was actually the championship game when I had turned my name into that. That's why my title on the trophy is down with Tito.
Oh,
So
and that's why it worked.
Yeah, it worked, man. And since then, like I whip it out every single time, and like, man, my record with him is just like it's amazing.
Oh
And
yeah,
I
actually,
didn't think I thought it
Yeah,
was gonna be close, but no, it's
yeah.
yeah,
a
like
good gap.
Dion did
The
some research.
research on that, yeah. There was definitely seasons where where you completely wiped the board on Tito. Like he had no wins over you, and then there was obviously there was years where it was 1-on-1, and I think there was only one time Tito had like a 2-0 on you. And that's it. So it's pretty crazy, and like to be 9-5 against him, like it seems like that name is working. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, so it's
I heard
never
you're
gonna
going for
go
the
away.
2.0 KD.
Dude, I am, man. I'm going for that 2.0, and it's gonna happen this
Everybody,
week.
stay tuned. Like, leave a comment below to see if you think it's gonna be 2.0 this week, or if John's gonna
yeah.
actually lose.
Yeah, you guys
Give us your
start
predictions.
start placing bets.
Yeah,
Make sure
John's
I'm putting
heavy
on
favorite
DK.
right now. Not Metcalf. Yeah. Right now, let's go into the questions that people dropped for us today. We had a couple of people. We had Tito, we had Rigo, and um, and we had Martin. So, Martin's first question was, "What are your opinions on moving to sleeper?" I'm assuming like fantasy. You wanna answer that, Dion? We can go in order.
Does so I don't mind sleepers. The only thing I don't really like about sleeper, I don't know if it's with any of you guys. If you guys have the same, I guess whatever situation and stuff, it sometimes doesn't update the matchups. So like the scores would not update
Oh,
as they go. So I sometimes I'll have to
Oh
close out the
yeah,
app and like refresh it and stuff.
yeah.
it
I
But other than
does
closed
that,
the app
like
and opened it.
yeah, the layout's like pretty fine. Like I don't mind it as a. I like the fact that it gives me news um, every now and then. The only thing I'm opposed to it is that like we have so much history on Yahoo. I don't know if it would like transfer over to Sleeper, and we would
I
just
have
lose all this.
Yeah. I had seen this last year. I think I brought it up. Like
Mm,
they were offering some history transfer for sleeper. I don't know exactly how
okay.
that worked. I don't know how that worked. I have to look into it actually again. But one of the things you mentioned was the news and stuff. And to me, that's actually kind of like counter. Like that's a point why I wouldn't kind of like it that much because I get like notifications from Sleeper, and I don't know if it's like for the league or news or just like it's the same little icon, and it's kind of annoying to me.
Mm,
Especially, I know we're not going to be using that chat, but like I'm in this league with Eric, and we're using Sleeper, and people post like chat, and they give you like a thing for every little chat, like every little message, it gives you like a new notification, and that's really annoying. And I think you can
yeah.
probably turn it off, but that in
You
itself,
can turn it off.
it's just kind of a little bit annoying. Like, why would it notify you for every like every new comment? Like that's kind of annoying. But other than that, I mean, the design, the tools is what is actually good. But like you said, the Yahoo thing, I didn't really like what they did this year, to be honest. But I think if just stick it out a little bit, I don't know how many more years.
yeah,
Just
I think it'll just
sometimes, I remember
it'll probably change.
when they update like Instagram or stuff like that. I remember it always kind of feels weird, and then like after you used to it, it just kind of like feels normal. So I don't know if it's
Yeah,
that, or I don't know if it's actually just that bad. But like it's week 3, and I feel way better than it was like week 1. When it was week 1, I didn't, like I was looking at my team like big ass faces, like it looked kind of weird. But now
yeah.
I'm just getting used to scrolling. Like yeah, some of the stuff is kind of annoying, but yeah, I'm getting kind of used to it. I don't know. How do you feel, John? What do you think about that?
For me, this is my first year using Sleeper like with fantasy football, so I'm still trying to get used to it. Um, my one thing I obviously love is that I'm in a league where nobody picks anybody up, so I got a pretty good friend. Um, but I don't know. It's like I like it. The only thing I don't like is like when you try to search players and stuff. Like you can't really. It's very difficult to like navigate. In my opinion. Um, but I do like how it keeps track of the games when you when you actually go on the matchup. Like it tells you like where they currently are on the field.
Oh,
It tells
that's
you like
really
the
cool.
last play and
Oh,
all that stuff. Like that. That's actually
that is
pretty nice.
true. Yeah, I do like that
It,
as well.
yeah, I love that about it. And that's something that I think everybody should do, which it's pretty neat. That's the biggest plus that I'll give it. I do like that you can do your mock drafts and just like create your league out of that. But I don't know if that's going to create a whole new league or if you can add it to a historical league. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but then the biggest thing would probably be transferring all the information over because obviously we've been using Yahoo Fantasy for so long, and I just love how it has all of our history, our matchups, everything. We have
Or
our we have our Yahoo levels and all that stuff. It's like that's something
yeah,
to
that's
brag about.
I like that too.
Hmm so
If ever though, like I feel like if we could do that, like maybe even just have a separate, like just record the history, maybe Excel document or something, just something to have
Yeah.
it actually accessible. If we were ever to make the move, if it ever got so bad, but in my opinion, it's not bad enough to warrant a change. Well, who knows? I think so. The next question was coming from Rigo. He said, "What it is Malik Neighbors the best draft pick of the season so far? If not, who do you guys think?"
oh, I have neighbors. I definitely think he's the best draft pick. He's fucking great. He's
I
carrying
was
he's
like,
carrying my team.
"Yeah, you ever heard of anybody have neighbors?"
I have neighbors.
Oh, you guys
Well,
both have neighbors, huh?
will you be my neighbor?
I don't know.
I'll be
Yeah,
your
if
neighbor.
you had, I
What
mean, sure.
what I draft like fourth round?
Fourth round, is he the best? I'm not sure. I think depends. Like, I think it's a good. He's
he's
up there for sure. But
he's
I
Oh
think
definitely
man, dude.
if you're thinking like value, I think like someone like Mason, because it's like he's a starter now, and he was drafted very late. Or if you think of just altogether, I think Saquon Barkley is one of the best ones because he's just like performing really well.
well in terms of Mason, that was kind of situational, you know. Um, Christian McCaffrey being presumed IR and stuff. It's kind
Mhm.
of like an opportunity and stuff.
Yeah, like
Um,
a lottery ticket, but the thing is that it paid off. And
right, yeah, it did pay off. Yes.
his question is
Um,
just like, was it the best one? It's kind of like it depends on what you're thinking about, you know?
hey,
What
currently right now, yes, but as the season goes, we'll see how it pans out. Because,
was the
like
question?
I
Rookie
said,
draft
it's
pick or just the draft pick?
not
The
just
best,
draft.
the best draft pick.
Okay. Oh nah.
Something tells me Rigo has neighbors in another league.
Yeah.
trying to trying to make his team look better.
Because where did he
He
go? Third round or fourth
he
round?
went
fourth
he went
round.
the beginning of the fourth round. Yeah,
Oh yeah. No, that's hella value.
That's great. I think him or what about Godwin? Godwin's been really great.
Godwin has been great too. Yeah,
Yeah,
Godwin
he
was
probably
like in
went
the
like
third.
sixth round, maybe third.
Oh
Third.
no, wait, hold on.
No.
Give me a second. No, fifth round.
So yeah, I mean, he just to answer the question. I think yes, like one of the best. Yes, the best. I'm not sure. 'Cause there's only 3 weeks, so
Yeah,
you don't really know. But his usage, we love his usage. It's been crazy. So that
oh
if
yeah.
they keep that up, then yeah, for sure he will be. I
Man,
passed over another Martin question, which is kind of similar. He says, "Who do you think had the best non-keeper pick in the late rounds?" Though he said in the late rounds. So this for sure, I would say Jordan Mason, not a keeper in the late round. Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously he's a lottery, and he's the first lottery to hit this season. But you guys think of anybody else that was like late round?
I'm gonna do this because I'm salty about it. Brock Bowers.
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Dan, you held on too long to get a tight end.
I know, man. I was so close.
I wonder
And
what the move for Tyler there is going to be because he has the Porter in him, but he hasn't really done nothing.
that,
Like,
that's that's not my problem.
nah.
That's
No,
not
he
my
he
His
could
problem.
hurt. Don't
always
worry
use it
about it.
to trade, but he should have done that early.
Yeah, now Laporte kind of hurt, right?
Yeah.
Now with Laporta kind of hurt and not really like,
Now he kind of needs to keep him.
yeah. So,
All right,
who else do we
Gentleman's
have?
agreement?
I feel like
Tyler,
there's another
hit me
one.
up, Tyler. I could use a Laporta even if he's hurt. Better than 0 points.
Trying to see who else.
Sideways up.
I would say Jordan Mason and Brock Bowers
Oh yeah,
for
those are
those
good
like
ones.
late round.
The final question today came from Tito before we dip. Asking the host and the guests, who is your favorite trade partner and why? I have two of them right here. Actually, the final one, I would say Manny. But the reason is because I feel like, at least in my opinion, I feel like when we discuss trades, we always have like people that we like, that we individually like. And I think, at least from my experience, like we all like the value that we get. Like at least we believe, like in the past seasons, like we believe in the player that we're getting, and then we trade. It's like it's fine. And a lot of the times, is we trade for position needs, not like just like random. Manny is a little different. Manny is like we would trade just cuz, like he would just want some trade action. But sometimes, most of the time when we trade like running back for a wide receiver or vice versa or things like that. Something that makes sense. So at least that's my. I picked you three guys.
Oh man, I don't know who to choose because like every time I trade with someone, I always end up being awarded the victim.
Hey, what's the one trade you think you won? That pick that guy. Pick that person.
The one that I won,
Yeah, what's the trade you remember winning? You're like, I don't remember one.
it wasn't that I won it. Is that like I got so much crap about it, and that was the trade with Tyler last year,
Oh
where I
yeah.
was offering him Jerome Ford and I
Oh,
forgot
I
who
like
else,
that trade.
and I got Josh Jacobs in return, and everybody like blew their foot, like
I was the only one that liked that trade.
blew
Like,
their
I don't
blew their
think.
lid and stuff.
I thought it
Um,
was a good trade.
they thought that I was colluding. I'm like, no, like I sent him a different offer, and he
See,
countered with something else,
what
and it
I
was
don't get.
like, I'll take it, like
This is kind of getting into theory a little bit, but I really don't care what the ranking is in Fantasy Pros or anything like that. Like people see the this
right,
is the value that Reddit has. That's like, bro, it's like it's what you think. If you're finessing somebody, like I might be getting like let's say in GG, I was trying to trade Victor Jordan Mason. And it's like, and his value wasn't what it is now, obviously. But if for some reason he knew that or he believed had a reason to believe that, then he could have had that type of value. Whereas, like, if you look at it just like, what's his value right now? It's like, yeah, it might not be even or whatever, but you know. So that's kind of like
yeah,
theory. I
and
think at that time it was of good value, and I really like Ford like that. I think that was a
and
good.
and I've gotten into the mindset already that like in trades, there's nothing's ever guaranteed. So it's like it may look like lopsided at the time, but like things happen in fantasy. Like nothing's
Yeah,
like certain. Like Christian McCaffrey, like probably would have never got hurt. He probably would have kept on being healthy and shit. Like so, I
yeah,
don't know. In my mindset, I say if the players agree to it because we're all grown men for one.
and we
We've
all
all
played for
done
a
the
long time.
research exactly. So it's like no one's getting finessed here. Like
Yeah,
we should just let the trade go through, and then whatever happens, happens. We had the trade earlier this year and stuff where Tyreek Hill and you know Zay Flowers got traded. Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels. That seems like a fair trade. Right now, it's looking like Tyreek Hill might be a little bit of a bust because of how the offense is going.
yeah,
Like I said, we don't know how that's going to happen
that's
or
true.
what's going to happen. So I would say just let trades go. And I don't know. I don't have any
You don't have a favorite?
person. I don't have a favorite. It's whoever offers me something, and if I like it, I like it. If people don't agree with it, then sorry, it's not your team.
Yeah, that's true. Now, then don't try to gaslight someone for not accepting your trade.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you accept my trade already? Anyway, so John, what do you think? You have one or no?
Ooh,
Or do
me.
you feel the same?
Last year Dion for saving my team. He gave me McCaffrey, and that definitely boosted me. And it also, oh my
I
god,
didn't give you McCaffrey. I got
okay,
Jamar
you didn't give
Chase.
me. All right,
And guess
you didn't give
guess
me
what ended up
McCaffrey, but
happening?
still,
Joe
everybody
Burrow got
died.
hurt. Joe Burrow got hurt, and then like Jamar Chase went down. Like,
Dude, the crazy part is just
oh,
just the amount of things that had to fall in place in order for me to make playoffs that happened was insane, and it was all because of that trade. And
So Dion
so
stays
yeah,
Dion.
yeah.
But
But I
Dion
mean,
says
I'll
nobody.
also say there's one person that I trade with every single year, no matter what, and it's always Martin. And it's
Oh
always like
yeah.
some like decent trade. Although he sent me a pretty sus one today, and I let it sit there, let it marinate.
I feel like that's how he starts off his trades, with sending sus trades, and until you get serious, he starts giving you like real trades.
Yeah, he's probably gonna comment on this video talking about how it wasn't sus. Yeah, I could already hear it.
He's gonna pull up the receipts. He does that.
Yeah, all
But
the statistics. But yeah,
yeah, guys, that's all our favorite people to trade with.
I'm not trading with anyone.
If you were not named, then you better start trading. Better start sending them trades. Oh yeah, maybe you guys could leave a comment and see who's your favorite person to trade with, and we'll compile a top list. We'll do a tier list. Who's the best
Manny loves
trader?
trading with everyone. Although I
That
stopped trading with Manny and with Tito.
I sometimes I don't want to trade with Manny. Just he sends me some nice juice.
Manny,
But
you gotta
yeah,
step up, man.
yeah, guys. That's gonna wrap it up for this week. You guys have any last words for the guys?
Oh, I'm only to Tito. You know, obviously he's gonna lose this week.
Oh
We all
shit!
know it.
You know,
Um,
you're getting clipped, right? If you lose,
yeah. No. Let this be in the record books, all right?
the same
Let this
way
fucking be no.
if
You
you
see this?
win,
It's right. I'm the number one Bears fan.
he was number one. All right, with that, we leave you guys. Happy Thursday. This goes on Thursday, so happy Thursday, guys, and have
All
a
right,
good
happy
Yeah.
Thursday.
week and good luck.
Good luck, everybody.